For further analysis, we're joined from Cairo by the international relations specialist, Dr. Mohamed Osman. Thank you for joining us on Qnews. Sir, let's start off. Thank you so much for joining us. First, let's start off by asking about the implications of Netanyahu's proposal for the Gaza residents. He doubled down on the statement of having the residents there to have the option to leave. How might this affect the ongoing ceasefire negotiations?
Netanyahu is just being as manipulative as he always has been. He's trying to give the illusion that he is abiding by the ceasefire agreement, while at the same time he seeks to enforce the unimplementable, unviable proposal that was proposed by President Trump regarding the forced displacement and the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians. And that's why he has been so stringent and very, very uncooperative in terms of the negotiations for the second phase of the ceasefire. He said that he will not be willing to engage in negotiations for the arrangements of the second phase of the ceasefire unless Hamas pledges to leave the Gaza Strip and the Gaza Strip is completely disarmed. And of course, these are unrealistic proposals. He is demanding a complete surrender of the Palestinian resistance, and this will lead nowhere. So unfortunately, I believe that the Israelis are trying to complicate matters in either to force the Palestinians to leave without fighting or to resume fighting and hostilities in some capacity in order to force them to leave.
Well, sir, to add to this point, we've seen like certain fractures within the Israeli government as well, where certain parties have asked for tougher stances, including Yair Lapid, who criticized Netanyahu's government. And what you see, in your opinion, is the potential impact that it could have on Israeli domestic politics and security policies?
Yair Lapid is the head of the opposition. But of course, he has been very vocal in his criticism of Netanyahu's actions because he believes that there is a priority for the securing of the release of the remaining detainees. Around 60 or 70 of them. Half of them are dead, the other half is alive most probably, and they want to have to secure the release of those people before engaging in any further hostilities in the Gaza Strip. And the majority of the Israeli population supports these propositions. On the other hand, hardline members of the Israeli government, the far-right members, especially like Smotrich and the members of his party, each at every interval threaten to withdraw from the Israeli government because they want Netanyahu to be even more hardline, and they are pushing him. And in order for his governing coalition not to collapse, he keeps appeasing them. And I'm afraid that if he exaggerates in appeasing them, he might very well end up restarting the war in Gaza just to save his own government and his own cabinet. This is something that Netanyahu will not think twice about doing. Unfortunately, the Machiavellian, sinister realist he is.
Okay, so what role does Hamas's actions have, such as the planned release of detainees, when it plays in the context of a broader ceasefire agreement and the future of Gaza? Do you think this is something that's significant when it comes to this?
Hamas apparently is committed to the agreed upon format of the ceasefire agreement, and this is a positive sign. They are committed to implementing the agreement with its three phases, the agreement that has been mediated by the United States, Egypt, and Qatar, and now the Israelis are trying to back out of this agreement. So on this side, I am confident that Hamas is doing the right thing. However, Hamas needs to think about the day after the war, and they have to understand that no one will accept in the international community, not even just in Israel, Hamas being in power and the continuation of Palestinian division. The Palestinian Authority has to come back to the Gaza Strip and assume responsibility so that the Palestinian people can be united under one government, under one leadership, and Hamas needs to take the responsible action. They are sending positive signs. So far, they have informed Egyptian high-level sources that they are not interested in governing the Gaza Strip after the war. So this is a good indication. However, we will need a much more open and much more declared stance by Hamas in this regard in order to send the reassuring signals to the Americans and to other Western players that the plan of the day after in Gaza does not include Hamas remaining in power.
Okay, can we take a look at the UAE? The UAE has rejected the Palestinian displacement and supported the two-state solution. How does this influence the dynamics of regional peace efforts?
I think that the position of the UAE, especially after the controversial remarks made by one of their diplomats a week ago, has reaffirmed their stance against the displacement of the Palestinians, and has reaffirmed that the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and the entire Arab world is committed to preventing the displacement schemes of the Palestinian, and they are all united behind Egypt in this manner. And there are two Arab summits, a small Arab summit that will be convened in Riyadh in the next few days that will tackle the idea of the idea of displacement, that will reject the idea of displacement, that will endorse the Egyptian Arab plan for reconstruction that does not entail the displacement of the Palestinians. And then later on, at early March, on the 4th of March, the Emergency Arab Summit will convene and probably endorse and adopt the Egyptian plan of reconstruction. And I think that the United Arab Emirates is a key proponent in supporting this course of action.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. From Cairo, that was the international relations expert, Dr. Mohamed Osman. Thank you for joining us here on Qnews.